I think the sadist people always try their hardest to make people happy because they know what it is like to feel absolutely worthless, and they do not want anyone else to feel like that. Robin Williams was one of the kind who was choosing his words precisely. The actor was unique and managed to always add his touch to every character, making them lovable and amazing. Anytime a person who has had so much impact on so many people's lives passes away, it is understandably hard to comprehend. Robin Williams was one of these people. He used his talents to become much more than just a comedian. He was an entertainer. When Robin Williams entered a place, all faces enlightened. He made it better in some way. He made everything an adventure. He was a source of inspirations and not afraid to speak his mind or even shock people. Somehow, he always ended up being loved and admired. People were drawn to him because of who he was, but most of all because of how he made them feel. Although this 63 years old man was loved and admired by pretty much everyone, he still couldn't stand his Parkinson's disease and his persistent depression, which drove him to commit suicide. Unlike human beings, your business cannot suffer mental or physical disease. Either people love it or not. Either it works or it does not work. The gifted comic taught the world life lessons, though his acting and made people love him for it. Not only was Robin Williams an improvisational master, he also knew self-delusion very well. As an alcoholic, he often made fun of his disease, cheering up anyone who might also suffer from the condition. He always had something nice to say to everyone. He could talk about almost anything and interpret almost any role. Alcoholism is the most serious form of problem drinking and describes a strong, often uncontrollable desire to drink. Sufferers of alcoholism will often praise drinking above all other obligations, including work and family, and may build up a physical tolerance or experience withdrawal symptoms if they stop. Alcoholism is sometimes known as alcohol addiction or alcohol dependence. It's slightly different to harmful drinkings, which is an occasional pattern of drinking which can cause damage to your health. An example of harmful drinkings is drinking too much at a party and risking a fall or argument. This pattern may develop into alcoholism if that kind of harmful drinking becomes a habit and happens on a regular basis. An overwhelming desire to drink and inevitably to stop or to control the harmful drinkings, withdrawal symptoms when stopping drinking, evidence of alcoholic tolerance, pursuing the consumption of alcohol to the exclusion of alternative pleasures, continuing to drinking despite clear evidence of harmful consequences. Drinking alcohol stimulated the release of dopamine and endorphins within the brain. There are the chemicals that produce feelings of pleasure and satisfaction and act as a natural painkiller. Studies have shown that genetic factors come into play when determining how alcohol reacts in the brains of different people. Specifically, some people's brains released more pleasure chemicals in response to alcohol, making them more susceptible to physical dependency. Alcohol use can actually make physical changes in the brain's chemistry and the brain functionings, which play as a big part in what makes alcohol addictive. The brain's reward and brain's pleasure centers are overloaded, and the user experiences cravings to repeat those experiences. Although someone may have the intention to stop, alcohol can compromise impulses controls and decisions making, which makes a relapse more likely. What starts as alcohol abuse can quickly and easily change to alcohol dependence. Alcoholism, like other addictions, is ultimately a learned behavior, and the person's thoughts and beliefs come into play. For example, someone who doesn't believe in treatment and recovery is unlikely to put forward the effort necessary to successfully complete treatment. A person's developmental maturity can also be a contributing factor. Stress can also play a major role in addiction, with alcohol providing the temporary and unhealthy solution from those uncomfortable feelings or stress. These coping mechanisms can become a habit and seems impossible to break. In addition to alcohol and drug rehab, psychotherapy can help with motivation and stress reduction and should be one part of the recovery process. In fact, people who are dependent on alcohol have higher rates of other psychiatric disorders than the general population. In fact, according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, about 20% of Americans with an alcohol or substances use disorder also have an anxiety or mood disorder. Marijuana can be beneficial to a variety of individuals, especially those living with certain conditions, causing pain, intense vomiting, or severe lack of appetite. Like many medications or supplements, weed might have the potential to become addictive in some individuals. Addiction involves a number of factors, and the lack of clear statistics on weed makes this a complicated topic. Knowing as marijuana is a drug derived from the leaves, flowers, stems, and seeds of the Isis, Cannabis sativa, or cannabis indica plant. There is a chemical in a plant called THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, cannabinol that has mind altering properties. Marijuana's effects on the adolescent brain. Some studies suggested that teenagers who use marijuana frequently may experience a short-term effects such as problems with memory, learning, coordination, and judgment. As for long-term effects of the adolescent brain, some studies suggested association between the regular marijuana use and teens with altered connectivity and reduced volume of specific brain regions, while other studies have not found significant structural differences between the brains of users and non-users. Studies have found that the frequent use of marijuana as teenagers can be associated with an average IQ loss of 8 points that were not recoverable after quitting. However, the same use in adults showed no reduction in IQ. The researchers concluded that their data suggested marijuana's strongest long-term impact is on young users whose brain is still developing. Marijuana is not generally considered a gateway drug because the majority of weed users do not go on use harder addictive substances, including the cocaine and heroin. The science of addiction is more reliable than the David hypothesis and shows that our social environment might be a more critical factor in determining our risk for trying harder drugs. It is suggested that if we are more vulnerable to getting involved with addictive substances, then we are more likely to start with things that are more readily available, such as alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana. If we have social interactions with other substance users, then our willingness of trying other drugs increases. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, marijuana is the most commonly used illicit drugs in the United States. Although the 9 states plus Washington, D.C. have legalized marijuana for general use and 29 others have legalized medical marijuana, many more states still consider it to be an illicit substance. Marijuana and THC in particular has been shown to reduce chemotherapy-induced vomiting and nausea for people going through cancer treatment. It can also help to reduce nerve damage pain in people with HIV or other conditions. Regarding social media addictions, I see the need for constant contact with my phones as a type of addiction that requires my detox SNS. If I spend too much time on my phone, obsessively checking the internet, social media, mail, or messages, it makes me feel bad. These things kind of messages that releases dopamines into my brains and making me feel not bad at that time and want more and more. But I'm pretty sure that I feel better when the person I am with looks actually at me instead of their phones. Day after day, I must face a world of strangers where I don't belong. I'm not that strong. It's nice to know that there's someone I can turn to who will always care. You're always there when there's no getting over that rainbow. when my smallest of dreams won't come true. I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. So many times when the city seems to be without a friendly face, a lonely place, it's nice to know that you'll be there if I need you, and you always smile. It's all worthwhile when there's no getting over that rainbow. When my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. I will contact you as soon as I arrive at airport. See you soon. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.